Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D here with High Off Blue Hour, and we are going to be going over keyframing in CapCut Desktop. So, keyframing is really one of the most simple ways of animating an object. And what keyframing is, it is the process of indicating the beginning and end of a specific animation and then allowing your editing program to fill in the transition between these 2 points. So, an example of this, we're going to use this kind of warehouse background here with kind of these large windows here. First, we want to go up here, make sure we're in video. We want to make sure we're in basic. And then over here, we have all of these diamonds. These are keyframe diamonds. And so any parameter that has these diamonds next to it, that indicates that it can be keyframed if you would like. So in this situation, we're going to make sure our playhead is at the beginning of our timeline, and that's where our first initial keyframe is going to go, our beginning keyframe. And so to add that in, we're going to click this top diamond here to activate our keyframing, and that's going to put a keyframe diamond at the very beginning of our clip here. And then so to further show an example of just having two keyframe points, we want to make this background do a 360-degree rotation. And so a very simple way to do that is we got our first initial keyframe already set. So we're going to drag the playhead all the way basically to the very end of our clip here. And then we're going to rotate our image here. We're going to rotate it all the way around until it's back to right side up. And then we're going to let go of our mouse, and that's going to add in that second keyframe point there. So that's one keyframe point at the beginning and then a second keyframe point at the end. And our editing program is going to fill in the space in between the two keyframe points with the necessary animation and movements to achieve our final animation. So let's drag the playhead back to the very beginning of the clip, and if we press play, we should get a full animation of our background doing a 360-degree rotation. So let's press play, and that's exactly what we get. So that is a two keyframe point way of achieving that 360-degree rotation. Now another way we could have done that, and also if you want to get rid of a keyframe, you just right click on it and then hit delete. Now another way we could have done that is, let's take our playhead back to the beginning, and we still have that first initial keyframe diamond here at the beginning. Now another way we could achieve that is kind of going a little bit more kind of step by step by dragging the playhead forward just a little bit and then starting to rotate our image a little bit. And then so what we do, and then we get a keyframe, and every time we drag the playhead forward a little bit and then move our image, we'll get another keyframe. And then so we could do this all the way down this timeline, all the way down this clip, until we end up getting the full rotation that we got in the earlier example. So we're going to drag the playhead and then rotate our image a little bit more, drag the playhead a little bit more, and then rotate our image a little bit more. And I think you get the idea. And we're going to keep doing this until we get to the end of our clip and we have our image has been fully rotated. So this is the last keyframe here, and we're back at a full 360-degree rotation right side up. And so you see down here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We did 10 keyframes for this 5-second clip. And then if we go back to the beginning and press play, we get our rotation, our complete rotation, and back to right side up. And so all of these keyframes, each keyframe indicates a position, and then the space in between each keyframe indicates that's where our editing program is going to fill in that space with the necessary movement. that to allow us to transition from keyframe to keyframe, position to position, until we achieve our final fluid animation, which is just a full 360-degree rotation of our background. So that's really kind of, the gist of keyframing. It's really just setting your different marker points or anchor points, into the position, the timing and position that you would like. So let's do one final example of this. Let's add in this background, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just keyframe this flame sticker. This animated sticker here, we're going to just keyframe this. And so once again, what we're going to do, let's highlight what we want to keyframe. Come over here, activate the keyframing diamond. And so you've got that initial keyframing diamond at the beginning, indicating this is our starting position. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this flame just kind of move around this background, just kind of willy-nilly, but I'm going to pick which positions it is in. So what we're going to do is drag the playhead forward a little bit and then just manually move this flame a little bit. And you see, anytime I move that flame around and then let go of the mouse, we get a keyframe there, a keyframe position. So we're going to move the playhead again a little bit and then drag the flame a little bit more, move the playhead a little bit, move the flame a little bit more, move the playhead a little bit, move the flame some more. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way down the timeline. So then once we're done and we go back to the beginning and press play, it's just going to be an animation of this flame just kind of freely moving around this background. And this is only like a 5-second clip or so. All right, so and this is, we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different keyframe diamonds used in this 5-second clip. So let's take the playhead back to the very beginning. And so when I press play, we're just going to get an animation of the flame flickering and burning or whatever, and just kind of moving around the background. So let's press play. And so each position that this there's 13 keyframe positions that this flame is transitioning to. And so all of the points, all of the spaces in between these different keyframe points, our editing program is just filling in that space with the necessary information and the necessary kind of transitions to transition us from one keyframe point to the next keyframe point. And so this all ends up adding up into one fluid animated movement that we see here. And so you can use keyframing to really just move around and animate really just about anything that you can pull into the timeline, any type of video or still image or even text and words and things like that. So that's really just kind of a very simple way of animating things. And the thing about keyframing is it's pretty similar across the board. I did a video on keyframing in DaVinci Resolve, and pretty much all of the same principles that applied in that video apply to keyframing in CapCut Desktop. So it's kind of one of those things, once you know how to keyframe in one program, it's pretty easy to figure out keyframing in another program as well. So that is keyframing in CapCut Desktop. All right, thanks for watching.